Today, I got a new piece of equipment to try out, and I'm pretty excited about that because this is something I've always thought about buying, and this might help me make my decision on what to get. So hopefully you'll stick around and see how it goes.
Dig Drive DIY.
So I am here at Bobcat of Fort Wayne East in Graybill, and they have been gracious enough to loan us a Bobcat to use this weekend. We're testing it out. What do you think? Pretty close, huh?
Yeah. I mean, like, it gets it in there, but you're not gonna have, much.
Right, that's what I was worried about.
Dump in there and whatnot.
Do you think the 5, the next size up, would be better?
Cab. We can go get it and try. Yeah.
That one's way higher. So we're trying to decide between the 590 and the 450, and I don't think the 450 is going to reach high enough to get in my dump truck, so it's going to have to be the 590. Okay, got the T590 Bobcat all loaded up, ready to head home. Gonna put her to use at the park tomorrow. I'm looking forward to running that thing. This is about the size of machine I would want if I were to get one. It's actually about perfect. 61 horsepower, I believe it said. Operating weight is 7,800 pounds, and it can lift over 2,000 pounds. So of course the Bobcats come with different configurations. You can get joystick control. This one happens to be the traditional hand and foot controls, which means that you steer it and drive it forward and backwards with both sticks at the same time, and then you operate the bucket with the foot pedals. And this is the way that, the traditional Bobcats operate. And I've become accustomed to it over the years, so that's not strange to me. I just grew up getting an opportunity to jump in a Bobcat every now and then. It was always the hand and foot controls, so I didn't have to relearn it. These are all completely keyless entry. You can enter a code that they provide you from, in this case, the store. So you enter the password and then the machine will start. It's got a throttle here. You just turn the dial to rev it up to speed. These have a button you have to press to unlock the controls, and then you can deactivate the parking brake, and then this thing's ready to rock. So a lot of Bobcats have an enclosed cab with a radio and heat and air. This one is just a bare bones machine, but it actually suits me fine. I don't mind it because I don't spend that much time trying to operate in inclement weather, to be honest with you. Most of the time it's hot more than anything, and this would do the trick. But if I'm being honest and was able to order one exactly how I'd want it, I'd want the heat and the air conditioning. Who am I kidding? Well, today we're headed back to the Harlan Park to do more preparations for the new playground that's coming next week. So in order to be completely prepared for the new playground, we have to excavate the site out so that we have a consistent 12 inches of mulch everywhere underneath all of the playground and the structures involved. We have to clear an area, the footprint of which is 103 feet by about 57 feet. That's a huge space. And it's because of some of the rules and the regulations that go along with being compliant for playground structures. My buddy Jack and I went over last night and we got everything measured out. We shot some initial grade and figured out some elevations. And now I've got this new piece of equipment with me that I'm going to use, and Jack's bringing his Kubota 75. I think it's an SLV 75. And we're going to see if we can get this cut out and ready, and then hope that it doesn't rain between now and when we start. So that's the plan for today. Here's what we're dealing with so far. There's a corner right there, that stake. That's about halfway, that stake. And that's the old playground footprint. It's going to come clear up to here on this line. This grade is about good where it is, where these stones are. This is about where it needs to be cut out to, so we're actually going to be filling around the outside on this side. This side's low, so this will be filled up about 12 inches, and we're going to be cutting into that side about 12 inches. So hopefully we don't have to move a lot of dirt out of here. We'll just be rearranging it and getting this leveled up. All right, we're about to get started. I'm not typically a skid loader operator, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. Jack, on the other hand, is a fantastic operator, so I'm gonna follow his lead and we're gonna see if we can get this leveled up some. So I got to spend about 5 or 6 hours running this machine at the park, and I tell you what, once I got onto it, I really started to like it. I like the Bobcat actually. I like the Kubota, I like the Deere. I'm not picky. This is so much more machine than a compact utility tractor, and in that situation, this did work better than the compact tractor would have done, by far, because there was a lot of heavy digging involved. We needed to be able to bridge those holes that were there from previously removing the old playground. Anything with wheels would have been in a bad shape there because of the number of holes that were in the ground, and you would have hit them and sunk in every time. So the track machine was a perfect application. It was the right size. I was able to dump it in the dump truck. I'd highly recommend. And if I get an opportunity to purchase one of these sometime, if I get enough money, I will. Plus, having a local dealership is really nice too. Can't ever discredit that fact. So would I trade my compact tractor for this? Actually, I'd still want them both. There's places for a compact tractor and there's places for this. So I'd want to add to the fleet rather than trade off my tractor for this. But it's a nice machine. All right, back to the action. So anytime there's something that's been there for 60, 70 years, it's got to be good treasure hunting. So I called my cousins, Mark, cousin Jeff, who are avid metal detectors, and they're finding all kinds of cool stuff. So we'll check in and see what they've got. But this makes it a little more fun and feels like you preserve a little of the history that's here, maybe.
So this broadcast wirelessly to my headset.
Oh.
The elusive piece of can slaw or pull tab.
Strike one.
Gets you every time.
All right, has cousin Mark found any treasure?
Oh yeah. Got some silver. Well, these are silver nickels, war nickels. Got a couple buffalo nickels and just a modern chain.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, it's worth the trip, right?
Always worth the trip, yeah.
Okay, we're getting close. We got most of the dirt cut out of the pad. That'll allow us to have 12 inches of mulch underneath most of the structures. Some of those playground structures down there, they don't have as much of a fall risk from a higher elevation or higher height. So we don't have to have as much mulch underneath those. But now we're gonna try to deck off what dirt is along the side here and get that leveled up. But we gotta check in on the hull here. What's the best thing out of the bunch?
Probably the silver.
The silver?
I did get a buffalo nickel, so you don't find them very often anymore. So that's
Which ones are silver?
the real bright ones. These are silver war nickels here. Jeff got a couple too.
Silver war nickels?
Yeah,
They made them from 43 to 45 during World War II.
I'm sure this place is loaded with more stuff. You just can't get down to it.
Well, it was a good call.
Yeah, glad you got-
As we were digging that out, I thought, man, Mark and Jeff ought to be here. So now they're here.
Thank you.
It's hard to imagine this with a foot of mulch in here. But that's what Jack's doing, is getting the last bit cleaned up. This down here will all slope towards the tennis courts. And then we're gonna try to keep the mulch down below the asphalt there to kind of retain it in. I know it'll still spill over a little bit, but. All right, well, that will wrap it up. We got that all prepped and ready. The weather is forecast to be super nice, so I'm excited that this might go off without any mud. But we'll see how things go. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hope you liked it. If I'm lucky, we'll meet you on the playground sometime soon. Take care.